Okay, I will start, call the meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee to order at 6:17 PM. All members are present. Approval of minutes. There are 2 minutes in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 8th meeting. Anybody's looked at them? Who was not here? Everybody was here, right?
Yep.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Then the minutes of September 5th.
So moved.
All those, everybody was here, right? Yes.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Both minutes have been approved. Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to speak in public comment portion of our meeting? I don't see any, I do see some members of the public, but they're here for the meeting, not to speak, I guess, so. We'll move on to legislation referred. We have 2 orders to act on tonight, which are on the council's agenda tonight for approval later on. It's order 0 FY 24-010 for loan authorization for well water number 5A replacement. And the information is attached. Azu is here if he wants to I think you're here to answer any questions or explain a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for indulging me. As you know, the town of Bridgewater does not have reservoir water supply like you have with Brockton or Halifax, where you have the Silver Lake or Lakeville. All our water comes out of the ground. So we have wells. These wells, well number 5A is located at the Covers Pond. And well number 9 is on High Street. These wells have been there for more than 50 years. And so we have been limping. It's like we're having a tractor trailer that you use for farming. You know, you keep replacing parts and replacing parts. After a while, you'll realize that it's not economical to keep replacing parts. So you have to buy the bullet and buy yourself a new tractor so you can cover more field. These wells, well number 9, for example, was rebuilt not even a month ago, and it collapsed. So the infrastructure that makes up the well, the PVC pipes, the casings, the pumps, they are all kind of gone. So it's putting Band-Aid in a wound that you need surgery to clean up. And so we do need them to be replaced. What happens with the wells? The wells pump water into the towers, and the towers create the pressure that distributes the water, okay? Well, what happens is these wells are programmed to take turns. So that it's like when you're running a race, you do triathlon or whatever, at some point, you take a water, you drink, you get a little bit of rest, and then you get energized and you keep moving on. So we do that. We do that with the wells. We rotate the wells so that they're resting. But when we get all that drought, don't be confused by the fact that recently we've been having all these rains replenishing the aquifer. But all those times that we were under state declared drought, the wells were pumping constantly without resting. And so when you're 50 years old, and in the terms of well, you know how they say that 7 years, it's like 7 dog years or whatever, right? Same thing with the wells. It's been sitting there for the longest time, and you're rebuilding it, and it's not resting. It dies. And so I think any more money that we put in trying to rebuild at least those 2 wells, it's our sinking fund that doesn't. So
They
that's.
need to be replaced. They're worn out.
They're one out.
Right.
Both of them are more than 50 years old. And you've gotten all that you're gonna get out of them.
Is that a good lifespan or?
It's actually very, very, the average well, believe it or not, is really 25, 30 years. 25, 30 years. 50 years, 50 years is just because you have people working on it, stretching it. And recently, we replaced 6 filters that were never replaced before, and they were supposed to be replaced every was from 6 to 10 years, never been replaced. We replaced them, and so that kind of helped with the water pumping out of the wells, right? Because if you're running, if you're going uphill, if you're driving a car, you're going uphill, you get deceleration. Where if you're going on a level plane or going downhill, you don't even need to put the gas on, it goes. So this same thing happens. When you have filters that have never been replaced all these years, the wells are working harder for the water to get through. So these are the things that we have been working on to clean up. And we recently wrapping up our flushing program so that you don't have all these discolorations that you're having. And so Bridgewater water is getting there. And
the cost of this will be absorbed within the rates of the ratepayers?
that would be correct.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, actually I do. So I see on here it's 400,000 for investigation, permitting, design, and bidding to replace both wells.
Mhm.
Is there a possibility that we can't replace both wells?
You can't?
Right, because you're gonna have to find other wells, correct?
No, so we're calling it replacement for both wells. If you are gonna do a new source, you're looking 2 years before you get approval from DEP. But they will fast track replacement if you have an existing well and you're moving, and then basically they consider replacement is if you're putting the well 50 feet away from, we're putting another well 50 feet from the existing well.
And that's what we'll be doing?
That's what we'll be doing. Well number 9, we might stretch it because of the formation of the soil at the site. But DEP, if you're saying I've got an active well, but it's limping, and we show the data and they see all the maintenance record that we've had, then they will be a little bit more lenient to do that. We also have 2 wells that are permitted. They're just not online, that are on Vernon Street. Those we're going to be thinking about bringing online as well to help with the production of the water in the town.
Okay, but within the 400,000, is there the possibility that even replacing the existing wells, you're not gonna be able to sustain what we need? If you're saying the wells now are tired, they're 50 years old,
Mhm.
I mean, if you're gonna build if you're gonna build a replacement well
Yes,
50 feet away, aren't you gonna be drawing on the same source that the tired well is gonna be drawing on?
right. But if I'm playing on the same road, right? If I'm driving a car and I've got a brand spanking new Chevy Tahoe versus a Chevy Tahoe that is 30 years old, the Chevy Tahoe that's new is going to climb that hill faster and quicker than the other one. So the ability to pull water out of the ground will be facilitated with the new well. So you're talking production versus the availability. We're not talking availability of water in the aquifer. So those are 2 different things.
Right, so I guess my question is, with replacing the well, there's gonna be testing
Yes.
in general terms.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, you're gonna have to quote unquote prove that it can sustain certain draw, things of that nature. But is there the possibility that even with that testing, that area may not be able to ultimately support what we need in order to make that replacement well active? It's a general question.
No. It is a good and valid question. But we also have sufficient data
Okay,
that says it will be productive.
okay,
Yeah,
Yep.
we have sufficient data. We have the morphology of the soil,
okay,
all right? And we have we have the stratum in the basin.
okay,
So we know that it's the well, not that's the distinction I'm trying to make.
okay.
It's the well, not the aquifer.
Okay, so we've got the data
Yeah.
to justify that we're gonna build that replacement well.
That is,
within the
that
city.
is correct, that is
Okay.
correct.
Great, thank you.
Very good. Do you have any questions?
No, we asked them all. It's good.
Okay, again, this is on, order FY 240100, motion to
Recommend.
recommend.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Motion and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Three to nothing. Now we're acting under order FY 2401, loan authorization for well water number 9, but same situation?
Some exact situation.
so
Make a motion, go ahead.
I'll make that motion to recommend 0 FY 24011 loan authorization, water well number 9 replacement.
Second.
Motion and the second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Okay, now you gotta go to the council. The council will be voting on this tonight.
Mhm.
To send to
To
advertising.
send to
Well,
advertising.
Send to
I
advertising.
don't know if you're gonna be there or not, but
Well, I'll make myself available.
you never know. You never-
Okay.
But it's just gonna go to advertising, so I don't know how much discussion there will be, but.
Mhm.
Public comment, anybody else join us while we were talking about well water replacement? Don't see anybody. That is all we have for the agenda tonight. There's one thing on tonight's council agenda that will be referred to us. So I figured we'll meet at the same time, right before the next council meeting. Is that fine? Or do you
Sure.
want to meet another? I just want.
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
aye.
3-0 at 6:29 PM. We are adjourned.
That is council moving.
Yep.